Most Valorant players care more about winning than they care about becoming a better player. That is going to be the topic of today's video. Day one of me flying around Valorant maps while I spit pure value for you guys. Now, by the way, bear with me. This is my first time multitasking like this for a video. I'm not sure how good I'm going to be at it, but I'm going to try it out. We're going to see if I can do it, if I can run with it. But yeah, let's talk about that, guys, because it's very freaking important, by the way. Extremely, extremely important, because most of you guys fall into that exact same bucket. Okay, most of you guys care more about your Valorant wins, your RR, those short-term dopamine hits, than actually becoming a better player. Okay, now to put this into perspective for you, I want to ask you guys a very, very simple question. Okay, let's say, and by the way, this is completely raw, uncut, unedited. You're gonna hear me coughing, you're gonna hear me clearing my throat, you're gonna hear me drinking water, blah blah blah. This is just a this is like a format where I just want to be as raw, as authentic as possible, and just give you guys pure value. Because the thing is, look, I have so much freaking value to give you guys, but I can't do that with just Instagram short form reels. I want to make long form videos where I'm just giving you guys value like this. Also, let me fly a little bit higher because, it's a little bit weird. Kind of just doing it low. Oh, this looks way cooler, way more aesthetic. I'm gonna try to keep it as aesthetic as possible, because if you know me, I freaking love my aesthetics. Aesthetics are everything, honestly. Guys, I'm telling you right now, like, even if you're, let's just say that you attach a lot of your self-worth to money. I know this is like off topic, but even if you're not making that much money, just by keeping your room really aesthetic, keeping your surroundings really aesthetic, just making things look and feel amazing, you're just gonna feel 10 times better. Your life, your quality of life is just gonna feel better. So highly recommend. Anyways, sorry, sidetrack. Let me jump right back into the point of the video. So once again, raw, uncut, unedited, whatever, but the point is, let's say you as a player, right? I'm talking about you watching this video, right? You have your main account, and then you also have your alt account. Okay, let's say that your main account is gold 1 right now, and let's say that your alt account is also gold 1, okay? And on your main account, you play solely with the goal of winning every single game as much as you possibly can, right? Your whole goal of every single game is to win. And on your alt account, your main goal is to just become a better player. You're playing to just become a better player. In a 6-month time frame, which account do you think is going to be a higher rank? Your main account or your alt account? The answer is obvious. It's going to be your alt account. And let me explain why. You can't become, let's say, an immortal rank player without stepping into the shoes of what it takes to actually be an immortal rank player. If you want to become a high elo player, you have to do the things that a high elo player does to eventually get there, to be consistent in it, and to actually reach that rank. So what do I mean by this, guys? For example, if you are playing every single Valorant game with the sole purpose of winning, what you are doing unintentionally is you are playing to your strengths. You are not playing to your weaknesses. You're playing to your strengths. You're taking risks that you're comfortable with. You're only positioning in areas that you're comfortable with. You're only pushing smokes that you have prior experience with. You're only taking fights that are beneficial to you. You're only positioning in off angles that you have experience with. The whole point is that you're already playing to your strengths because you're trying to maximize your win rate, right? However, if you are trying to become a better player, you need to start playing to your weaknesses. Very important. You need to start taking more risks. You need to be okay with dying in certain situations so that you can learn. You need to be okay with trying to go for multi-frags and failing so that you can learn. All of these things are so important, and yet so many players lack and don't actually do this. And they wonder why they're hard stuck in the rank and why they can't get out. It really just comes down to that, guys. You need to play to your weaknesses more. You need to have a structured, consistent routine that you follow to warm up with, specifically around things like movement aim, which is the biggest mechanical gap between lower ranks and higher rank. Literally just movement aim. If you can master your movement, you're just going to skyrocket in rank so fast, and that's exactly why I provide all of that stuff to my students. And you might be wondering, where did you even get this topic from in the first place? It's really interesting. So yesterday, I think 2 days ago, actually, I was coaching a student in the game of Valorant, and we had a really good coaching session. I pointed out a bunch of things. Obviously, he got access to all the routines and everything was looking good, right? And by the way, for some context, most of the students that I coach in the game of Valorant, they see results in an extremely fast time frame. If you're in my Discord, just go to the results channel. You'll basically see like there's people that came to me when they were Ascendant, hit Immortal within 2 weeks. Someone came to me when he was Diamond 2, hit Immortal within 1 month and 4 days, which is absolutely insane, by the way. We had some people come to me when they're gold, hit diamond within 1 week, even 1 week and a few days. Like, it's crazy, right? We also had like some people who came to me when they were like, let me think. Also gold, hit diamond within a few weeks. There's so many different things. I mean, what else was there? I know there's one more that I'm trying to think of, which was insane. Oh yeah, 48-hour transformation. A guy came to me when he was gold, hit plat 3 within 48 hours. Insane timelines, right? And the thing is, guys, is that in my server, if you're in my server, I only post results that happen in an extremely fast time frame, because the truth is, I have people hitting me up literally every single day sharing wins, like, oh, I hit this rank, I ranked up this much RR, I did this, I did that. And I figured, I want to separate myself from my competition. Obviously, there are many other Valorant coaches out there, but most of these guys, if not all of these guys, all they post are their wins. Like, okay, my student hit this rank. My student hit this rank. He went from this rank to this rank. But they don't talk about how their student took 10 months to do that, 9 months to do that, 1 year to do that, whatever the case may be, right? Me, I only post wins that happen in a fast timeline, because that's the standard that I hold my coaching to, and I want my students to also hold my coaching to that standard, because I really care about this, And so basically what happened, what happened yesterday is that I had a student and he was like, okay, he got to coaching, blah, blah, blah. And then he hits me up, right? And the next day he's like, yo, he just lost like 2 games in a row. Things were not looking good. And he was like, what's happening? Blah, 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 right? And this opened my mind to 2 really important things, okay? The first thing that it opened my mind to is that my students hold my coaching to a very high standard, which honestly makes me really happy, because that's my goal, right? My coaching, essentially, it covers every single aspect of everything you could possibly imagine when it comes to movement aim, static aim, because not only do I do the VOD review, which is the coaching session for each student, but I also give them access to tons of routines, tons of guides, everything they basically need, all the information they need to actually rank up extremely fast. So even I expect them to do so. I'm like, man, maybe I should drink some water, but I feel like obligated to just like do this. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Just give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. Perfect. I feel way better now. Okay, so the point is that also I am kind of sick. So if you're wondering why, if I do sound a little bit sick, that's why. But the point is, guys, is that yes, I do hold my coaching to a high standard. So when he came to me and he was like, yo, why am I not seeing results within 24 hours? I was thinking to myself, okay, wow, number one, that's amazing that he is hoping that he's going to see results within 24 hours, because that shows the standard of which that my students are holding my coaching to, which makes me really happy. However, the second most important thing that it opened my eyes to is that the reason why my students that get these results in such fast timelines, the reason why they get those results in the first place is because they actually implement immediately. They start implementing the advice right away. They start implementing the routines right away. And that is what helps them. And obviously not every single student that comes my way is going to get results in such a quick time frame. Those people are the very few people that actually make it happen in a fast timeline. But the reason why I post it is because it just goes to show how many those people really are. Yes, it's only like maybe 50% of the people who actually come and get coached by me. I wouldn't say it's like more than that. I think 50%, but that alone is still a really high number if you think about it, right? 50% of people, or around 50% of people, are getting results in such a fast timeline, or accomplishing their goals in such a fast timeline. That is a really good selling point. And that's why I advertise it as such. So when the student didn't get the result within his 24 hours, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, this guy, he hasn't even had time to implement the routines. He hasn't even had time to implement the advice. He hasn't even had time to implement the coaching advice either. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, by the way, because there's going to be students out there that understand that you need to implement to see changes. And there are also going to be students that are going to be like, yo, I just got a coaching session, now I'm untouchable, right? You guys have to understand that coaching sessions do not stop once the coaching session stops, right? You take all the advice that a coach gives you, you take all the routines that a coach gives you, you take everything that the coach gives you, and now it's your time to implement it and be consistent with implementing that advice. That is probably the most important part of getting coaching, is that the coaching doesn't just stop. You don't just become the best player in the world after you get coached. You have to take the advice, you have to take the routines, and be consistent with it. And that is what the student had not done yet. He hasn't even implemented. He just started playing right away, and he was expecting results right away. So I just told him straight up, look, man, yes, my students get results in very fast timelines, but it's because those same students implement right away. They go straight into the custom game, they start grinding, they go straight into the range, they start grinding. When they play their Valorant games, they're playing to become a better player. They're not playing focused on winning. They're actually implementing the advice. And this is just a pro tip for you guys. How do you actually implement advice, right? Because it's one thing to implement warm-up routines. That's pretty easy. You just follow the video and you just do the exact same thing that I'm doing in the video and actually implement those warm-up routines into your own warm-up routine and do it every single day. Simple as that, right? But when it comes to advice, you need to actually be aware of what advice it is that you're trying to implement and how you are going to implement it, obviously. So how do we do that? The first thing is, actually one of the best ways to do that is to just look at the advice that I give you. Let's say it's like stop shift peeking angles, right? And you dedicate one comp game to doing exactly that advice, right? You're no longer going to shift peek any angle in this specific comp game, and that is going to essentially help you get high quality reps in of that advice, because now you're dedicating an entire game to making sure that you don't shift peek any angles. And then the next game, you look at the next piece of advice. Maybe the next piece of advice was, when you peek an angle, always be ready to strafe, right? Now you're going to spend that entire game, every time you peek an angle, every time you see an opponent, you're going to be ready to dodge their first couple bullets while you reset your crosshair onto them before you actually shoot. This is going to help you, build that good habit. And this is how you actually improve, guys. You get the advice, you get the coaching, you get everything you need to know, you figure out where your weaknesses are, and now you actually run games where you are focused on improving those weaknesses. And eventually, you are going to get so good at everything that everything becomes a strength to you. And when you gain more strengths in a game, then you're just going to be separating yourself from your competition. This is exactly how you get out of hardstick, guys. I'm giving you guys the blueprint, right? And most of you guys are still going to click off this video and still just continue to do the exact same thing you already do instead of trying to become a better player. I need to remind you guys, you cannot reach a high rank in this game if you do not step into the shoes of a high rank player. You cannot just play to win solely and expect to reach a high rank within a short time frame. It's just not going to happen. Okay, even players who play solely to win, they might eventually reach a high rank like years later, but they can't do it in a short time frame because they're not playing to become the player that they need to become in order to actually be in a high rank. If you play to become the player that you need to become, if you're okay with the short-term losses but the long-term gains, what that means, by the way, is it really depends on the time frame. So for example, right, let's say that you are playing to become a better player, right? So you're dedicating games to focusing on your weaknesses, blah, blah, blah. You might lose the first couple games, or you might win even, right? Like I said, fast timelines. The reason why is because if you're implementing the advice right away, you're focusing on it, you might see instant growth as a player, but you might also see losses. The reason why you might see losses is because now you're trying something new. You're not used to this. You're trying to get used to it. You're not used to, peeking angles properly. You're not used to taking gunfights properly, whatever the case may be, right? You're focusing on a weakness. You're working on it. And because you are working on it, you're trying something new, you might lose within the first couple days. But once you become proficient at it, once you become really consistent with it, now you're going to start seeing long-term growth. Maybe within like a 2-week time frame, you start ranking up. Maybe within a 3-week time frame, you start ranking up, blah, blah, blah. That is still long-term growth compared to, a few days. But when it comes to long-term growth, you're only going to continue to get better if you play to get better. Whereas someone who's playing solely to win, they might see short-term growth. Maybe the first few days they might win, but then even within a few weeks, they're going to stay hard stuck. Within a couple of months, they're going to stay hard stuck. Within a couple of years, they might rank up a few ranks, but overall, they're going to have a really hard time because they're not playing to improve. They're simply playing to win. Anyways, I hope this yap session made sense. Again, raw, uncut, unedited, no script, nothing, just kind of speaking off the top of my head. And sometimes when I yap off the top of my head, there's a lot of good value that can come out of it. So I figured, why not just make these videos? You know, I want to help you guys out. That was my main mission when I started coaching, by the way. If a lot of you guys don't know this, but I actually used to do coaching for free. Like, literally, I used to do coaching for free initially because I wanted to build up credibility. I wanted to show that I actually knew what I was talking about. And once I got a few results from my students, I was like, boom, you know, I got to start charging for this, because this is not, you know, how else am I just going to keep doing coaching? I can't follow my passion. I can't follow my dreams. I can't help people out if I don't have a safety net, right? If I don't have somewhere to live, blah, 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 rent to pay, blah, blah, blah. So point is that, and by the way, I don't pay rent currently, so don't tweak about that. I do still live with my parents, luckily. I'm not going to expose my age, but I am a young adult, if that helps at all. But I do plan on moving out at some point. I just need to get a little bit more of a safety net. I don't know why there's this big stigma around, like, oh, you have to leave your parents' house the moment you turn 18. I get it's like a big thing here in America, but I feel like it shouldn't be, you know? It's just like, come on. Like, if your parents love you, if your parents care about you, if you're living in like a caring, loving family, they shouldn't have any problems with you staying in their house, as long as you aren't causing any trouble, of course. I don't know what some of y'all be doing, but anyways, point is, guys, yeah, I hope this video made sense. Hopefully this provided lots of value to some of you guys, and hopefully next time I won't be sick when I'm recording the video, so that way I can actually sound amazing the entire time. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. You already know I'm very happy to answer any questions, and yeah, if you want to get coached, link down below, and that's it.